Okay, so today's video is on why AI won't fix a broken sales process. This is also why I'm wearing my supered process enforcement shirt today. It's one of my favorites. It fits really well, so I wear it to the gym a lot. I love it. Okay, so everyone thinks that AI is going to fix all their sales problems. It won't. AI doesn't fix broken processes, it scales it. So 30 data in, 30 data out, right? So if your definitions of your sales process already confuse your sales team, AI will be even more confused. Here's what I've seen over the years at Peddle. Clients will say, hey, we need AI scoring, we need AI forecasting, we want to do AI outbound. And then we come in, we look under the hood, and there's no definitions for anything. No one agrees on what an MQL is. SQL means something different to everybody on this marketing sales team. And then opportunities get created just whenever someone feels optimistic.
So we're taking a look, and it looks like it's about 3.1 billion. It went up a little bit, or a lot. So the 2.7 is now 3.1.
I'm not aware of that.
Yeah, it just came out.
Yeah, a lot of that. So imagine feeding that into AI. You're not building an intelligence engine, you're building a hallucination engine. So we've lived this ourselves. So let me kind of show you how we walked through and fixed it with a few things. Definitions for MQL, SQL, opportunity customers, a methodology to actually bring your leads through that process with coaching so the team knows what to do at every step. Embedded cards in the CRM using supers so they can see it all in place. And then we add AI and automation to the top of that to accelerate once we're done. So let me kind of walk you through that. Here it is. Check it out. Okay, so this is how we started. Based on if a client had recurring revenue or non-recurring revenue, we would build out their lifecycle stages. And what we noticed is a lot of people have a definition for what an MQL might be, which is like a lead that's qualified, that's raised their hand, is what everybody knows that to be. But what does that really mean in your CRM? So we have the basic definition here, then we have technical details here. And this is like, well, how does your CRM know when somebody raises their hand? What does that mean? Is that a form submission? Is that a response to an email from outbound? Well, it can't be every response from email because some responses are out of office. Some responses are not interested. So how do we really tag this and qualify this? And so we actually build processes that do that for the client and then document it in technical details. And then there's company specific details. What does the team need to know and do now? Once there's an MQL, who's it hand off to? What's the process? How are we scoring it? What's important? What's not? So we used to do it in these spreadsheets, and we thought it was awesome, and the clients thought it was awesome. But then once we delivered it and they were on their own, they never looked at the spreadsheet ever again. And they would lose it and they couldn't find it and they would ask us questions about it. We'd point them to the spreadsheet, but it didn't live in the CRM, so it was hard for them to remember, and they're busy trying to wheel and deal. They didn't have time to look at this. So we put it in Super. So Super has these things called cards, right? And you can embed these cards with triggers into your CRM. So you see here we have definitions, we have technical details. You usually want to have entry requirements, exit requirements when things come in, go out. You can trigger it here. And so whenever it sees MQL, it knows to pop up this card and tell you what to do. So here's an example. Here's me as an MQL. Here I am. What does this mean? Boom. Here's the definition of MQL. And so that's cards. And then now we can take it a step further with something called process enforcements. Okay, so what is process enforcements? So Super has two things. They have process rules, and now they have rule sets. This is a rule set, by the way. And then you have process enforcements and process boards. So rule sets are what you want your team to do. What's the process we want them to follow? Well, I want to make sure that we have, when we're qualifying leads, this is my lead qualification process. We do the SPICE method, and we have some lead qualification questions like, what is their budget? If their budget is under a certain amount, then then they're not qualified. What is the buying rule? Are they the champion, decision maker, etc.? What's the timeline? Then we do spiced. So these are the rules that I put in place. And so I can put something in here that says this is the error if their budget is below a certain amount, right? And that'll pop up. And then this is a warning, like if their buying rule is not the decision maker, give us a warning. Tell us what to do. And so those are rules. Rule sets you can put on top of rules. So, hey, I only want these rules to pop up when someone is an MQL, SQL, or an opportunity, when they're in the qualifications, or buying role, right? We want this for every lead in database, because some people are vendors or other, or team members. So we want everywhere. We just want it between this rule set, right? And then, so what that looks like is this. So here in my database, I'm other, but we have qualification steps here. So you can see down here for MQL and SQL, we have cards that tell you, how to do these things, right? But then we also have the process rules. So if I change myself from other to an MQL, for example, like I'm now in the sales process, look what happens. All these things pop up, like, oh, you're missing all these things. You didn't do these processes. There's some warnings, like you're supposed to find out the decision maker or not. Like, what's going on here? Why are these things not answered? So that pops up here for your team to know as they're going through and working this lead. This is what you got to do, right? And then what's even cooler is at the end of this, you have process boards. So I can now see what's going on with my sales team and their whole process, what's going on. So I can see like all the rules we put into play. I can see what's getting done, what's not getting done, what tasks were missed. It's like a zero inbox game. You want to get it down to zero every day. But what's done, what's not done, and what needs to be done to close out the day for every team member that you have, right? Based on lead qualification or on or deal management. You can do it for every process. We also have it for onboarding, etc. So this is not documentation or SOPs anymore. This is now guardrails. It's how the system's going to handle the small things, make sure that your reps stay focused on the big things like closing, generating revenue, etc. So here's the truth. AI is very powerful, but only when your process is aligned, and only when your definitions are clear, and only when your data is clean. Otherwise, you're just accelerating confusion. So structure first, intelligence second. That's how you actually scale revenue. And by the way, this is a 3-part series. The next one will be on how processes enable AI and not the other way around, and which tools we use to do that so that the sales team can focus on closing and everything else is automated. They just take calls, close. They can create quotes if they want to. We can also automate the quote creation process. I'll show you how that works. And then the third one's going to be on how to execute at scale with the whole team. So stay tuned. It's just 1 and 3. Cheers.